Hello dear friends, welcome back again to another video from my YouTube channel. Dear friends, in our previous video, we discussed about the development of seed after fertilization. We have also seen there are three different types of seeds. Albuminous seeds, non-albuminous seeds and the perispermic seeds. In this video, we are going to discuss about two very important characteristic features of the seeds. Seeds, as we know, they are the final product. They are the end result of sexual reproduction in the angiosperms. Now, this seed reserves some amount of food in it. Some amount of food is stored inside the seed. We're going to talk about that little later. What are the advantages of seed? Let us begin this video with the most important characteristic feature of the seed, that is nothing but seed dormancy. Seed dormancy. This word dormancy, it is taken from a root word dormant. From dormant word we have taken the word dormancy. Dormant means state of inactiveness. State of inactiveness. If anything is not active, such condition, such a situation, it is called as dormant condition. Now, if the seed become dormant, if the seed undergo a inactive state, it is generally called as seed dormancy. But it is a layman definition. The scientific definition is quite different from the layman's, common man's definition. This is the textual meaning of the word seed dormancy. Now let us try to analyze the seed dormancy. As the seed matures, as the seed mature, there are some dramatic changes occur inside the seed. There are some drastic changes occurs inside the seed. What are the changes that takes place when the seed is getting mature? The first event that occurs during the maturity of the seed is seed starts losing their water content. That means as the seed is getting mature, it becomes dry. It starts losing the water content, it starts losing its moisture. Approximately 10 to 15% moisture by mass. This much of water content is getting lost from the seed as the seed is getting matured. That means here the seed is becoming dehydrated. Seed is becoming dehydrated. Why the seed is becoming dehydrated? It is losing its water content. It is losing its moisture. As a result of that, seed become dehydrate. Seed become dehydrate. This is the first event occurs during the maturity of the seed. Then the second event is very, very important. The second event that takes place as the seed is getting matured, it is embryo. Now you may ask the question, from where this embryo comes, sir? Seed consisting of embryo in it. In our previous video, we made it very clear that there are 4 different components of the seeds: seed coat, embryonic axis, micropylar pore and cotyledons. Embryo is the most important component of a seed. Embryo is situated inside the seed, and this embryo lower downs its metabolic activities. That means the embryo is reducing its metabolic activity. Simultaneously, the seed is getting dehydrated, and at the same time, the embryo also becoming or the embryo also reducing its metabolic activity. As a result of these two events during the maturity of the seed or embryo undergoes a state of inactiveness. That means embryo now it is undergoing a state of inactiveness, or it is undergoing resting period. Why the embryo has undergone the resting period? Because of these two events. Due to these two events, the embryo undergoes the resting period. That resting period or this phenomenon it is referred as seed dormancy. It is referred as seed dormancy. What is seed dormancy? The state in which the embryo remains inactive due to the loss of water content, and there is a reduction in the metabolic activities of the embryo. That situation or that condition of a embryo, it is called as seed dormancy. This seed dormancy, it may continue for weeks, it may continue for years together, it may continue for months together in different plants. That means different plants, seeds, they have got different time period of their seed dormancy. Some plants, their seed undergo a dormancy condition for weeks together. Some seeds, they may undergo the dormancy for months together. Some seeds, they may undergo dormancy period for years together. That means different plants, they have got different seed dormancy period. Seed dormancy may be for a week, or for a month, or years together. Then seed has undergone a dormancy period. Embryo has undergone a resting period. If the seed undergoes a resting period, if the seed, in general words, seed is sleeping, the sleeping condition of a seed, then who awakes the seed? Who breaks that seed dormancy? Who activates the embryo? During seed dormancy, embryo undergoes a resting period. Who activates that seed? That phenomenon is called as breaking of seed dormancy. As the seed is getting favorable conditions, like optimum temperature, moisture, and humidity, these three things, temperature, moisture, and the humidity, they break the seed dormancy and seed starts germinating. When the seed starts germinating, that indicates the embryo has become active now. Some of the seeds, so many archaeologists, they have excavated, they have taken out so many ancient seeds. Some of the seeds, they made a world record, they made a Guinness record. Some of the seeds, they may undergo seed dormancy for more than 10,000 years. Imagine 10,000 years. One such example, the oldest seed I'm writing here the oldest seed. The oldest seed is lupin seed. Lupin is a name of a plant. Lupin seed. This seed was found, it was found in Arctic tundra. Arctic tundra region of the world. This seed, which is belonging to the lupin plant, it is found, and it is believed that archaeologist has estimated the age of that seed. It is the 10,000 years old seed. During the excavation of the fossils, some of the paleontologists, they come across with the lupin plant's seed, which is hidden inside the soil of tundra, Arctic tundra region, and they made a carbon dating of that seed to understand the age of that seed, and it was found that the seed was 10,000 years old seed, and they sow in the soil. Suddenly that seed starts the germination after 10,000 years. Imagine, after 10,000 years the seed is getting germinated. What is the age of that seed? It is approximately 10,000 years. And one more very important seed which is excavated by the paleontologist, it is the seed of Phoenix dactylifera. Phoenix dactylifera. It is commonly called as palm date. Palm date plant. Khajurada gida. Palm date plant. This seed of Phoenix dactylifera or palm date plant, it is found near the King Herod's palace. It is found near to the King Herod palace, which is at the near to Dead Sea. That means it is in the Egypt. King Herod's palace, near to the King Herod's palace, near to the Dead Sea. Some of the scientists, they have excavated the seed of Phoenix dactylifera, and they estimated that this seed is a 2,000 year old. 2,000 year old seed. These two are very, very important for competitive exams. The oldest seed found in the world is the lupin seed, which is 10,000 years old seed, which is found near the Arctic tundra region. And the second oldest seed is the Phoenix dactylifera or palm date plant seed, which is found near to the King Herod's palace, which is situated very close to the Dead Sea, and it was approximately 2,000 years old seed. After the 2,000 years, after the 10,000 years, these two seeds, they sowed in the soil and they starts producing a new plant. That means the dormancy period of these two seeds, we can imagine the dormancy period of these two seeds. This is about the seed dormancy. Now let us talk about one more very important concept, that is advantages of the seed. What are the importance of a seed? Advantages of seeds. Why seeds are important? Why seeds are important both for a human being as well as for a plant itself? This question was asked for 3 marks in the previous year board examinations. The first importance of a seed is that seed reserves some amount of food in it. Seed is just like a storage of food. Seed is just like a reserve food. Seeds store food. Seeds store food. What is the use of this storage of the food? Seeds, they store the food so that they can nourish the developing seedlings. If you sow any seed in the soil, suddenly it will not produce the leaves for the photosynthesis. Then until and unless there are no leaves in the plant, they cannot perform the photosynthesis, they cannot prepare the food. Now how the plant is still alive without doing the photosynthesis? The answer is hidden in that the seed reserves some amount of food in it, and that food is utilized for the growth and development of seedlings. Seeds store the food, helps in development of seedlings. ಸೀಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? ಸೀಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಸಿಗಳು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಬೀಜವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿತ್ತಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲೆಗಳು ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲೆಗಳು ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಎಲೆಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆಹಾರ ತಯಾರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಹಾರ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಆ ಗಿಡ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬೀಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಹಾರ ಇನ್ನು ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆದಂತ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಸಿಗಳು ಬೆಳೀತವೆ. This is the first importance of a seed. Then the second importance, seeds they develop some tactics. Seeds they develop some mechanisms to propagate themselves. That means seeds they develop some techniques so that they can spread all over the ground. I hope you people have seen a structure like this which is floating in the air. While we were during our childhood days, we used to call them as a ಗಾಂಧಿ ಮುತ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಂಥದ್ದೊಂದು ಹಾರಿ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಪ್ಪು ಬೀಜ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಗಾಳಿಯಾಗ ಹಾರ್ಕೋತ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಏರ್. ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಕೋತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಲರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. This is the seed. The seed is floating in the air simply here and there. That is nothing but a mechanism of a plant so that it can propagate, it can spread its seeds all over the world, all over the land. That is the mechanism. Seeds develop mechanism to propagate that leads to the evolution. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗಿಡಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಬೀಜವನ್ನ ಪ್ರಸರಣ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ತಮ್ಮ ಬೀಜವನ್ನ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹರಿಬಿಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ they have developed a different mechanisms. These mechanisms they lead to the evolution in the plants. This is the second importance. Then the third importance of a seed. Seeds are the result of sexual reproduction, my dear friends. And in the first chapter, reproduction in the organisms, we made it very clear that the sexual reproduction always results into the formation of a new variety, whereas asexual reproduction always produces a similar type that is nothing but a clone. So, seed is a result of sexual reproduction. That means definitely it is bringing a genetic recombinant variety. It leads into the formation of a new variety because seed is produced by a sexual reproduction. So, seed brings genetic recombination. Seed brings the genetic recombination. Why the seed is bringing genetic recombination? Why the seed leads into the formation of a new variety? Because the seed is the result of sexual reproduction, not the asexual reproduction, not is the result of asexual reproduction. So, the next advantage of seed. Seeds consisting of the seed coats, a protective jackets of a seed, a protective layer of a seed. In the previous video, we made it very clear that the outer and the inner integuments, they develop into a seed coat like testa and the tegmen. Seed coats, we know they are the protective layers of the seeds. They are not only protecting the seeds, my dear friends. Seed coats are not only protecting the seeds, in fact they are also protecting the embryo which is situated inside the seed. That means seed coats protect embryo. Embryo is very important. Seed is not important for the sexual reproduction in the flowering plant. The embryo is very important, and that embryo get protected by a seed coats. Then the last very important characteristic feature of a seed is, just now we have seen seed has a very important property of undergoing a dormancy period, of undergoing a resting period. That resting period is very important for our agriculturist, our farmers, my dear friends. What the farmers they do? Farmers they harvest their seeds, they harvest their crops. ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ, ರೈತರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತಮ್ಮ ಬೆಳೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೀತಾರೆ. ಆ ಬೆಳೆಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನವನ್ನು, ಆ ಬೆಳೆಗಳಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆದಂಥ ಬೀಜಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ the seeds for the next season. They're storing the seeds for the next season. That storing is nothing but a seed dormancy. If the seed do not have a property of undergoing a dormancy period, can we imagine of storing the seeds? We cannot store the seeds. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಸೀಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಮನ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೀಜಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಡ್ ಡಾರ್ಮನ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರೈತರು ತಮ್ಮ ಬೀಜಗಳನ್ನ ಶೇಖರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. We are storing the seeds, we are reserving the seeds only because the seeds have got a property of undergoing a resting period. That is nothing but a seed dormancy. Seed dormancy help the farmers to store the seeds for next season. They are the advantages of the seed. It is very important for competitive exams as well as for board examination. It was previously asked for 3 marks in the board examination, my dear friends. The first importance is the seed helps in the growth and development of the seedlings. The second importance is seed has developed various mechanisms to propagate themselves that leads to the evolution. The third one is seed is the result of sexual reproduction. That is why the seed brings the genetic recombination, and this genetic recombination leads into the formation of a new variety in the plant. Then the fourth one is seed has got a seed coats, and these seed coats they are protecting the seeds as well as the embryo which is situated inside the seed. And the last very important advantage of a seed is seeds they have a very important quality of undergoing a resting period, that is nothing but a dormancy, and that dormancy help our farmers to store the seeds for the next season. I hope you have understood the seed dormancy concept as well as the advantages of the seed. In our next video, we are going to discuss about the fruit. One more very important post-fertilization structure. We are going to discuss about the fruit, what is the definition of a fruit, and we are going to discuss about what are the different types of the fruits. And by the end of our next video, we are going to understand about the 2 very important concepts, that is apomixis and the polyembryony. I hope you have got an idea about the advantages of the seeds as well as the seed dormancy. If you have any queries from this section, you can comment me on my comment box. Thank you so much.